Now let us have a look at HDFS usage commands and also commands used to get the metadata. To get usage about HDFS, we can use either -df or -du. To get the metadata, we can use HDFS FSCK. We have seen HDFS FSCK a couple of times in the past. Now we'll actually deep dive into it and we'll try to understand what it is all about. First, let us start with Hadoop FS-df. You can actually say Hadoop FS-help and then df to get the details with respect to this command. It is actually to show the capacity, free and used space of the file system. You can also use -h to get the information in readable format. You don't need to specify a path when it comes to df command to get the details with respect to capacity, free and used space of the file system. You just have to specify Hadoop FS-df and then hit enter. It will actually give us the details with respect to the size, which is nothing but 169 GB. Used is only 6 GB in our case, and available is remaining storage. To get it in readable format, you can specify -h. It will give us either GB or TB or whatever it is. You can see here size is 159 GB and 6.9 GB is being used and 143.2 GB is available. Earlier I have mentioned 169 GB. It is not correct. This 170 blah 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 is actually rounded to 159 GB. Okay. That being said, this is the total usage of the file system. Depending upon the replication factor on the cluster, the actual data that might be stored into HDFS is much lesser than this one. For example, if average replication factor is 3, in this case, the size is only 2.3 GB with respect to the actual data. So we have actually copied 2.3 GB of data, which is actually taking up 6.9 GB of space in our cluster. That being said, if you want to get into the details with respect to the directories and then see the usage of each of the directory, for that you can actually use du command. Okay. When it comes to du, it actually shows the amount of space in bytes used by the files that match the specified file pattern. So you can actually specify the pattern and it will give you the details with respect to the pattern. You can also use -s to summarize and get the details, -h to get the information in human readable format. However, even without -s, it will not get into each and every directory or the directory hierarchy and get the details. It will only summarize and give the details up to one level to the path which you have specified. So for example, if I say Hadoop fs-du /user/itversity, it will only give us the summarized size of each and every subdirectory or direct files in this location. You can hit enter now and you should be able to see the details. So here there are files such as logdeck.txt, deckofcards.txt. You can see the size of these two files, the original size as well as considering the replication factor here. And then there are directories such as small decks, zip decks, cards, etc. It actually summarized and gave the details to us instead of getting into those directories and again get the details with respect to the files. You can validate by saying Hadoop fs-ls user itversity. It has 3 directories and 2 files, and you can see these 2 are files and other 3 are directories, and the information is summarized at each file level or directory level within this location. Okay. Now if you want to get the details in readable format, you can specify -du -h and you can actually get the details. Large deck is 693 MB, but including replication factor, it is taking 1.4 GB of size. If you want to summarize at this directory level itself, you can actually specify -du -s and then -h. Then it will actually summarize the size up to user itversity. You can see it is taking up 2.7 GB of storage. Actual file size is 2.7 GB. Including replication factor, it is taking up 6.8 GB. Okay. So this is how you can actually get the usage of your HDFS either by using -df or -du. df and du will give you the details at a higher level. If you want to deep dive and get more details with respect to your files or directories, then you have to use a command called fsck, which is part of HDFS main command. fsck stands for file system check. If you look at the syntax of fsck, it takes the path and then there are several control arguments such as list corrupt file blocks, move, delete, so that we can actually move or delete the blocks, open for write, so on and so forth. Apart from these less frequently used commands, the common commands that can be used to get the metadata are nothing but files, blocks, locations, racks. Okay, and using this information, we can actually get the metadata with respect to files or directories. Now let us actually see a quick example, HDFS FSCK. Let us go to user ITversity and then specify files. When we use files, it will only give details with respect to files and then some details with respect to replication factor, etc., which is a bit summarized information. If you want to actually get details with respect to blocks or locations, you have to pass additional control arguments. Now, if you look at the output of the files, you can actually see it is connecting to the name node, which is nothing but big data server 2, so on and so forth. And then user ITversity is the main directory, and then it will actually going through the entire directory hierarchy, and then it is actually telling us the size. The overall size is approximately 2.7 GB here. It's the original size of our data. There are 9 directories, 10 files in that directory, user ITversity. The total number of blocks are 42. Average block size is, I think, 69 MB. So this is 69 MB approximately. Minimal replicate blocks are 42, which means each and every block is at least replicated based upon minimum replication factor on the cluster. Over replicated blocks, under replicated blocks, misreplicated blocks, all are 0, which is good. Default replication factor is 3. So at our cluster level, as we have specified dfs.replication to 3, it is showing it as 3 here. However, average block replication is only 2.42 because as part of overriding the properties, we copied a file of size 700 MB with replication factor as 2, and hence it have brought down the average block replication on our cluster. That being said, this is only user ITversity directory on the cluster. This is not the entire cluster detail. If you want to get entire cluster detail, you just have to run HDFS FSCK slash files. However, on a bigger cluster, it is not practical to run command at the root file system directly. Okay, you can directly use df or du command to get the details at a higher level. Now, number of data nodes are 3 and number of racks are 2. Okay, now if you want to get the details with respect to blocks or block locations, you have to use additional control arguments. To get the details about blocks, you can specify -blocks here. On top of whatever we have seen, it also gives us the details with respect to block corresponding to each of the file. For example, for deck of cards.txt, which is only 693 bytes, there is only one block, and this is the block ID. For large deck.txt, there are 12 blocks because our replication factor is close to 64 MB and replication factor is 2. So you can actually get the metadata with respect to this file where the replication factor is only 2 and the block size is 64 MB. Like that, you can actually get details with respect to each and every file that is copied under user ITversity. It doesn't show the location, which means the IP address on which these are copied to physically. To get the locations, you have to use -locations, and you should be able to see the details with respect to locations also. So on top of the block ID, which we have seen earlier, it also gave the IP addresses of each of the nodes to which the files are copied. Okay. You can also get the rack details by specifying racks. Somewhere it will show on which rack this block is coming from. Let us see that. I'm scrolling up here. You can see here. It is actually showing on which rack this the copies of the files or blocks are. This is how you can actually use HDFS FSCK command to get the metadata of your files. A very, very important command to understand how the files are being stored in the cluster. On top of these things, you can also use namenode UI. So you can go to namenode web UI here. You can actually take the namenode IP address, which is accessible publicly, and then use port number 50070, and you should be able to access this. As of now, it is not working because we don't have direct access to this via external IPs. To access this, we have to come out of this and then run sshuttle command. So let me run sshuttle command here. This is how you should be able to run sshuttle command. So sshuttle-r username at the gateway node to which we can connect using external IP, and then --sh command, and then we have to specify sh-i because we are not using the default ID_RSA public private key combination. We are using custom name for our public private key, which is nothing but Google Compute Engine. To pass this, we have to use this additional control argument -ssh command, and we should pass the details with respect to the key using which we should connect to this big data server -1 and hit enter. There seems to be some issue here. So here I have to specify the TCP bind. Now hit enter. Okay, the syntax is cmd, not command. Now you have to give the local password, not the remote password. For remote server, we don't have any password. Now you should go here and hit enter, and it should open the Nemenode UI. Okay, even in your environment, you might be able to use shuttle to access the gateway node from which you have access to the other nodes in the cluster, or you might have to get into the VPN, and using VPN you should be able to access these things in your cluster, which are hosted privately, which is not exposed to outside world. Now you see here, you can also get the metadata from here. It is actually showing the configured capacity, DFS used, DFS remaining, etc. So this is the output of df command, if you recollect. Also, it gives details with respect to live nodes, dead nodes, so on and so forth. You can also go to these utilities and browse the file system. So this is the web page which is actually rendered using HDFS FSCK output. Okay, so under root file system we have user. Within user we have ITversity, and you can access each of these files, and you should be able to get the metadata with respect to each of these files. However, this is a web interface to provide the information which we have actually seen using command line earlier.